Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Today, we have a very special topic for all of you who are learning English, especially if you're just starting out. We're going to talk about something we all do every single day. The languages, our daily routines.
That's right, John, and it's a great way to learn new vocabulary and practice simple sentences. My daily routine, your daily routine, everyone has one. It's how we spend our time each day, from morning to night.
Exactly. So, Jane, let's start at the very beginning of the day. What time do you usually wake up?
Oh, that's a good question. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. My alarm clock rings and then I open my eyes. Sometimes I hit the snooze button once, just for a few more minutes of sleep.
7 o'clock. That's a good time. I wake up a little earlier, usually at 6:30 a.m. My alarm also rings. I don't hit snooze, I just get up right away. What do you do after you wake up?
First, I stretch in bed. It feels good. Then, I get out of bed. I walk to the bathroom. In the bathroom, I wash my face with cold water. It helps me feel awake. And then, of course, I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth for 2 minutes.
Ah, the morning essentials. I do something similar. After I get out of bed, I also go to the bathroom. I wash my face, and I brush my teeth. Sometimes, I take a quick shower in the morning too. Do you shower in the morning or in the evening, Jane?
I usually shower in the evening, after work. It helps me relax. But in the morning, after I brush my teeth, I go to my closet. I choose my clothes for the day. I get dressed. What do you do after the bathroom routine?
After I get ready in the bathroom, I go to the kitchen. It's time for breakfast. Breakfast is a very important meal. I usually make coffee. I love coffee in the morning, and I eat some toast with jam, or sometimes I have cereal with milk. What do you have for breakfast, Jane?
Oh, breakfast. My favorite part of the morning. I usually have yogurt with some fruit, like bananas or berries, and I drink a cup of tea. I like green tea. Sometimes, if I have more time, I make scrambled eggs. It's delicious.
Yogurt and fruit, that sounds healthy. After breakfast, what's next in your routine? Do you go to work or do you study?
Yes, I go to work. I leave my house around 8:15 a.m. I usually take the bus to work. The bus ride is about 20 minutes. During the ride, I like to listen to music or read a book. It's my quiet time before the busy day starts.
That's a nice way to commute. I usually drive to work, so I leave a bit later, around 8:30 a.m. The drive takes about 30 minutes. While I drive, I listen to the radio, sometimes news, sometimes music. What do you do when you arrive at work?
When I arrive at work, I first say hello to my colleagues. We often chat for a few minutes. Then I turn on my computer. I check my emails. I make a list of things I need to do for the day. My work starts officially at 9 a.m.
That sounds like a good plan for the day. I do something similar. I turn on my computer, check emails, and look at my schedule. My work also starts at 9 a.m. What about lunchtime? When do you usually eat lunch?
Lunchtime is usually around 12:30 p.m. for me. I often bring my lunch from home, like a sandwich or a salad. Sometimes I go to a small cafe near my office with my colleagues. We talk and eat together. It's a nice break from work.
Having lunch with colleagues sounds good. I usually eat lunch at 1 p.m. I also bring my lunch, usually leftovers from dinner the night before. Or sometimes, I just grab a quick sandwich from the cafeteria. Lunch is important for energy, right?
Absolutely. After lunch, it's back to work. The afternoon can sometimes feel long. I usually have meetings or focus on bigger projects in the afternoon. What about you, John? What does your afternoon at work look like?
My afternoons are also busy. I often have phone calls with clients or work on reports. Sometimes, I take a short 10-minute break in the afternoon to stretch my legs, maybe grab a glass of water. It helps to clear my head. When do you finish work?
I finish work at 5 p.m. Before I leave, I make sure to save all my work, turn off my computer, and say goodbye to my colleagues. Then, I take the bus home again. The ride home is a good time to think about the day or plan my evening.
5 o'clock. That's a good time to finish. I usually finish work around 5:30 p.m. Then I drive home. The traffic can be a bit heavy, so it takes me about 40 minutes to get back home. When I get home, the first thing I do is relax for a little while.
Yes, relaxing is important. When I get home, usually around 5:45 p.m., I change into comfortable clothes. Then I often start preparing dinner. I like to cook. Tonight, I'm thinking of making pasta with vegetables. What do you do after you relax for a bit?
After relaxing, maybe reading a bit or listening to some music. I also start thinking about dinner. Sometimes I cook, sometimes my partner cooks. We usually eat dinner around 7 p.m. We talk about our day. It's a nice time together.
Eating dinner together is lovely. After dinner, what's next in your evening routine? Do you watch TV, read, or do something else?
After dinner, we usually clean up the kitchen. We wash the dishes or put them in the dishwasher. Then, in the evening, we might watch a TV show or a movie. Sometimes I read a book. I also like to prepare things for the next day, like my clothes or my lunch.
That's very organized, John. I also clean up after dinner. And then, in the evening, I often call my family or friends. I like to talk to them. Sometimes I work on a hobby, like painting or learning a new language. You know, like English.
Yes, perfect for practicing English. So, as the evening winds down, what do you do to get ready for bed? Your nighttime routine.
My nighttime routine starts around 9:30 p.m. I take a shower then, as I mentioned earlier. After my shower, I put on my pajamas. I brush my teeth again. And then, I like to read a book for about 30 minutes in bed. It helps me feel sleepy.
Reading before bed is a great habit. I usually start my winding down routine around 10 p.m. up too. I also put on pajamas and brush my teeth. Sometimes, I listen to a calming podcast before bed, or just sit quietly for a few minutes. I try not to look at my phone too much before sleeping.
That's a good tip. Looking at screens too much can make it harder to sleep. What time do you usually go to sleep, John?
I usually go to sleep around 10:30 p.m. I like to get about 8 hours of sleep. It's important for my energy the next day. And then, the whole routine starts again in the morning.
Me too. I try to be in bed by 10 p.m. and asleep by 10:30 p.m. A good night's sleep makes a big difference. So, John, we've talked about our weekdays. Do your routines change much on the weekends?
Oh yes, definitely. On weekends, my routine is much more relaxed. I usually wake up later, around 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Sometimes, I don't even set an alarm. I make a bigger breakfast, maybe pancakes or eggs and bacon, and I don't go to work, of course.
That sounds wonderful. I also love my weekend routine. I wake up later too, maybe 9 a.m. I often go for a long walk in the park. I visit friends or family. I spend more time on my hobbies. It's a nice change from the weekdays.
It truly is. So, you can see that our daily routines help us organize our day. For our listeners who are learning English, thinking about your own daily routine is a fantastic way to practice. You can use simple sentences like, I wake up at, I eat breakfast, I go to work.
Exactly. Try to describe your own routine in English. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? What do you do in the evening? You can even write it down in a small notebook. This helps you remember the words.
And don't worry about making mistakes. The most important thing is to practice speaking and thinking in English. The more you use these words and sentences, the easier it will become.
Yes, absolutely. Every little bit of practice helps. And remember, we've covered a lot of common verbs today. Wake up, get up, wash, brush, shower, get dressed, eat, drink, go, drive, take, arrive, check, turn on, work, finish, relax, cook, clean, watch, read, call, sleep.
That's a fantastic summary, Jane. You can replay this episode and listen to how we use these verbs in context. Try to repeat the sentences after us. It helps with pronunciation and fluency.
And remember, your routine doesn't have to be exactly like ours. Everyone is different. The goal is to learn how to talk about your routine in English. Maybe you go to school, or you work from home, or you have different hobbies. That's perfectly fine.
Yes, personalize it. Imagine you are telling a friend about your day, but in English. It makes the learning process much more engaging and real.
So, for homework, listeners try to write down 5 things you do every morning. 5 things you do in the afternoon, and 5 things you do in the evening. Use simple English sentences.
Excellent advice, Jane. This was a really good session on daily routines. We hope it helps all our listeners practice their English and feel more confident.
Thank you for joining us today. Keep practicing, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day and keep learning.